Hi there everyone, welcome to my channel again. I'm going to be doing a project with my Cricut this time. I did type out an alternative method if you're interested in trying it without a Cricut. First thing it is, this is an IKEA lantern that I got. I believe it was $7 plus tax. I'm just taking out the glass. It easily pops out. And now I'm on my Cricut and I'm picking my silhouette that I downloaded online. And you can easily download silhouettes like this, and you can print it out on a piece of paper as well if you'd like, and trace it on some vinyl, and just use one of those crafting X-Acto knives and carefully cut it out if you don't have a Cricut. That's one of the other options that you can do. So I'm just actually showing how I design it in Design Space right now. So I measured what the size I need, and that's just basically me reducing the size. I duplicated the image, and now my goal is to remove the Santa and the reindeer from one of the images. So I'm just picking up a shape, and I am going to put it over the area that I want to remove, and you can make these shapes any size you want to cover it. And then you select the whole image, and you're going to slice the image, and as you slice it, you can start deleting those little pieces. And you can do this in multiple slicing motions. So I'm gonna now get rid of the reindeer, and I can angle it, and I'm gonna select the whole image again, and I'm gonna hit slice and delete the stuff I don't want. Now if you have a little piece left over, just grab another circle or whatever you want, and just do a quick slice and get rid of that little leftover that I missed there, and delete. It is a print image. I'm going to turn it into a cut image for both of them, and I'm just selecting black, and I'm moving it to cut out. Setting up my Cricut with just a regular black vinyl, and I've sent it to print. This is just a close-up for those of you that don't have one of these vinyl cutters. They're an amazing tool. Now I'm picking out with a little pick, I'm picking out the unwanted vinyl, getting my image on one sheet. Just cutting it in half here. And these are the pieces of glass that I'm going to put the image on. They came from the lantern. So I'm going to line them up, and I'm first going to clean them with some rubbing alcohol and a little cotton pad. And I have to cut this image in half. So I'm just kind of using the panels of glass to measure it, and I'm going to use my rotary cutter to cut where I need. Now that they're cut in two pieces, I need to use transfer tape to transfer it onto the glass. Now I'm going to save some transfer tape, and I'm actually just going to cut out one piece and reuse this piece to transfer all my pieces to all 4 panels on the lantern glass. We're just going to peel the backer off, and I'm going to carefully put it over top of my vinyl image and try not to get any air bubbles. Sometimes that happens. And you smooth it out, and I'm just going to use this tool to flatten it through. If you don't have this tool, you can use something flat like a spoon and rub it on there, and it works fine. I'm going to peel the white backing off, and the image should stay on the transfer tape. Now, the first time you use transfer tape, it's really sticky. Sometimes it's a little harder to get it off. That's why I like to reuse the sheet once in a while. It's just a little easier to work with once it's been used once. And I'm going to place that up against the glass, try to get it as level as possible. Smooth it right out onto the glass before I remove the transfer tape. Try to get rid of as many air bubbles or air pockets. If it doesn't seem to stick to the glass, then just give it another little rub with the tool or your finger, and it will stick. And carefully pull the transfer tape off. I'm going to reuse the same transfer tape for the next image. Sometimes can stick together, but it works pretty good. And follow the same steps for all 4 panels. There's a little air bubble in there. That happens sometimes. Just rub it to the outside and it'll eventually go away. If you have a stubborn air bubble, I sometimes just grab a pin and I poke a hole in it and I rub it down. So they're all on the panels, and you'll notice the glass is frosted. I took this in the downstairs and I frosted the glass on the upper edges with this. And I put the panels back in. So you should know that it's frosted on the inside, but the vinyl is actually on the outside of the glass. And the reason I did that is because frosting, if you actually want to clean this and you wet it, the frosting could possibly come off and it can scratch. Whereas I have the vinyl on the outside because if I want to use an actual candle on here, I don't want the vinyl to melt too much. It's much better on the outside of the glass than the inside. And it nicely glows. Having a hot candle in there actually makes the glue adhere even more on the lantern. So now it's time to make a bow, and of course I have a bow dabra. If you don't know how to make bows, this is a handy little tool to make bows. I'm not going to fast forward too much over this so you can actually see how nice they are made. And basically you're just sliding it in there and you're just looping as many loops as you want. So I actually did 8 loops for this bow, and I try to keep the loops the same size on each side, and I'm just going back and forth and pushing it down. So I have 4 loops on each side, so that's an entire 8 loops. And the little tool pushes it down. I'm going to cut the end, make it easier to work with. And now I'm just going to pull up the tie and try and tie it. As I tie it, I can pull it out of the bow dabra. And now I'm just going to fluff it. And I'm going to figure out where I want to put this bow. This is pretty much the finished lantern. It's very pretty. It has the bow, and I added some pine cones to the top. You can pretty much do anything you want, and I also added a few of the berries in the center there. I like it as simple as it can be. Thanks for watching. Come back soon.